Hello, my name is Robert French, and I'm the founder of RF Ministries and the pastor of Balanced Life Christian Fellowship in St. Charles, Missouri.
Welcome to today's episode of Daily Bread.
Hello, this is Pastor French welcoming you to another segment of Daily Bread. While doing some research recently, I came across a quote by Dennis Kinlaw, who passed away in 2017. He served 2 terms as president of Asbury College. Prior to that, he was a professor of Old Testament languages at Asbury Theological Seminary. He wrote several books, one of which was This Day with the Master, from which this quote comes. It was one of the most concise and well-said statements I have ever read or heard about the condition of man. The following is what he wrote. Satan disguises submission to himself under the ruse of personal autonomy. He never asked us to become his servants. Never once did the serpent say to Eve, I want to be your master. The shift in commitment is never from Christ to evil. It is always from Christ to self. And instead of his will, self-interest now rules. And what I want reigns. And that is the essence of sin. When I read that, I was amazed and thought to myself how true and well said. It is the nature of man to blame his shortcomings on everyone or anything but himself. However, the scripture tells us something different. I shared James chapter 1, verse 14 in the last segment, but it bears repeating, that men are never tempted by Jehovah, but are led astray by their own lusts. Paul tells us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 6, verse 16, do you not know that if you present yourselves to anyone as obedient slaves, you are slaves of the one whom you obey, either of sin, which leads to death, or of obedience, which leads to righteousness. The problem is that men do not know or believe they are serving anyone but themselves. This is the greatest deception of all. Mankind has been seduced into following what he thinks is his own will when he has become a slave to the will of the adversary. Self-interest rules the day as mankind continues down the path of self-rule, taking pride in all that they do and giving Jehovah no credit and no place in the societies they have built. John wrote a reference to this kind of behavior found in Revelation chapter 18, verse 7. As she glorified herself and lived in luxury, so give her a like measure of torment and mourning. Since in her heart she says, I sit as a queen, I am no widow, and mourning I shall never see. This is what I see today all around me. We continually boast about our accomplishments and diminish the Creator's role more and more. For example, we teach evolution instead of creation, believing that mankind in all its greatness just happened, appearing out of nothing but a primordial soup. Creation isn't allowed to be taught as an alternative so that people could make up their own minds as to what they would embrace as truth. My question has always been, if evolution is, as they say, the absolute truth, then why are they so afraid of an opposing opinion? If your argument is so weak that you cannot allow an opposing position, then you have no argument. This is the way I see it. Mr. Kinlaw was right on the money. Man has been seduced into thinking he is a free moral agent, when in reality, that is far from the truth. We are all servants. The question is, whose servant are we going to be? Long ago, Joshua stood before the people of Israel and said these words found in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. And if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your father served in the region beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The same question is put to us today, and it is my hope and prayer we will all make the right decision. Thank you for taking time to watch Daily Bread, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. So until next time, remember to give love, give life, give Jesus.
We hope you have enjoyed today's Daily Bread. Join us again next week